Old Mutual is a company that's 180 years old. It was founded in 1845, so it's the oldest life insurance company in South Africa. We have roughly 12 million customers across 14 different countries across Africa and into Asia. It works across multiple different segments, from both the high net worth threat to the foundation market, as well as corporate clients. It covers both life insurance, pension funds, as well as asset administration. The biggest challenge we're probably facing in South Africa as a whole is the macroeconomic environment, unemployment, people struggling to make ends meet from a financial point of view. So our biggest struggle is how do we ensure that we give value for money to our clients, at the same time ensuring that their basic needs are met when it comes to death or other sort of claims that are important to them. So to put into context in the South African environment, funeral claims are so critical. Sometimes most people use it as a saving mechanism because there's a belief that they won't have enough money saved up from their normal savings. So a funeral policy can add value when they pass away so that their families are looked after. They want to know, is my money safe? And they want to know, if I need my money, can I get it? And so what we saw pre our orchestration and pre our re-engineering, and because it was through COVID, we saw massive increases in funeral claims, which as a business we were struggling to maintain. We actually couldn't do it. The one part that we struggled a lot with was keeping customers informed. It wasn't easy to understand where a claim or a process was currently in place. If I used SLA terminologies, we were meant to be 98% in 2 days. We were actually 56% in 2 days. Some of them taking a week, some of them were taking longer than that. So obviously that's a really poor client experience. We took a step back as an overarching company and saying we've got a number of key issues that are going on. There are multiple different ways and ideations of solving those. One of the key ones that we wanted to use was how do we use our technology stack in a fit for purpose way to drive the outcomes that we're wanting to achieve. So one of the big journeys we did was move our entire stack from on-prem onto the AWS cloud. Chorus has allowed us to just bring it all into one place. So we've got, inverted commas, a one-stop shop that tells us where the process is and tells us also through the ability to communicate via the communication medium to the customers of what's going on. When we re-engineered, we moved to 99% in 8 hours and 90% in 4 hours. That's a phenomenal change, but the key part to the customer is that they now could trust us that they're going to get a payment within a day, which allows them to, one, get the funeral ready, tell people that it's happening on this sort of date. They're able to grieve appropriately and to send off their loved ones while still saving face as a family in their culture, which is amazing. That positions us really well to have most things in place to handle other services. What that then meant is we fully believe in an orchestration and a workflow management system because it allowed for greater scalability, greater redundancy, and the value generated from that there, and to apply software as a service where necessary. When it came to our Chorus decision, it was exactly the same view in mind. How do we move to the cloud to ensure that we've got scalability and the ability to pull services where necessary and where required? Chorus allows us to give great customer insights, great customer outcomes of where do they want things to be better. Key things that we've been driving has one, customer experience, so the end-to-end view. Secondly is the customer is enabled where the customer needs to be enabled, so it's an end-to-end omni-channel experience. And obviously a key part is how do you get efficiencies, because the more efficiency you can get, more value you can derive, you can use it elsewhere into the business. Each of the use cases speak to those three things very, very clearly. So on the funeral claim side, it obviously speaks clearly to one, cost efficiencies and redeploying it elsewhere into the business, but also it speaks to the client experience. It speaks to the client can understand where they are and what needs to happen and put in place. For me right now, where I'm sitting, I'd struggle without Chorus, our team would struggle without Chorus, because it's the one place that we know we can go to say this is where things are and what needs to happen next.